This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Every once in a while, a game comes along that completely turns my world around. Now, when I say that, I'm not talking about wanting to become a chef because of Cookie Mama, but when you come across a game like the Stanley Parable, you can't help but feel excited for a game industry that can at times feel stale and repetitive. The game started out in life as a mod built off the source game engine in July of 2011, but I didn't get my hands on it until the remastered standalone version came out in October of 2013. It's set in first person, but there's no combat at all. You can click to interact with your world by pressing buttons and opening doors, but that's about it. But don't worry, the Stanley Parable is primarily concerned with providing a good time.
I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
The player controls Stanley, an office worker tasked with the job of monitoring a computer and pressing buttons accordingly without question. One day his orders never come, and Stanley is set out on his adventure to find out what's going on in his completely abandoned office building.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
I don't want to give away anything, but the choices you make in the story can lead you to some fairly interesting and weird twists in the plot that will have you laughing and wanting to try to find every bit of comedy in this game.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door.
You get the pieces of the story primarily through the narrator, voiced by British actor Kevin Brighting, and oh my god, does he have a smooth voice. Just listen to this!
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
I mean, how can you not want to listen to him talk all day? Seriously!
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction.
As you progress through the game, the narrator will tell you Stanley's story and the decisions he made that day. You can follow what he says, which does lead to a beautifully crafted story, or you can say fuck that and choose your own path just to see what will happen if, say, you go against the narrator right from the get-go.
Okay then, it's an adventure. Come Stanley, let's find the story.
Do you remember those choose-your-own-adventure books from the 90s that let you make choices and decide the story based on what you wanted to do? This is a throwback to those books. I mean, that's the best way I can explain the enjoyment I get from this game.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Not knowing what's going to happen if you take the right door instead of the left and being treated to a hilariously disgruntled narrator for not listening to him is a treat in itself.
Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider. Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine!
And like those books, this game has a ton of endings. I've been playing for an eternity and still don't think I've discovered them all. They range from the philosophical to the downright weird, and will have you searching for every option in the game to try to find them all.
I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
If I go this way, I can find out the meaning of my job and the highly suspicious employers. But if I go this way, who fucking knows? And that's the charm of this game. I mean, sure, it's not a multi-million-dollar AAA game, but it's a breath of fresh air in what I think the game industry, our game industry, really needs. It's available on the Steam store for only $14.99 and it's worth every damn penny. If you have a PC, which if you're watching this video, I'm pretty sure you do, go pick it up and have a blast. This is the Stanley Parable.